Good evening, welcome. So, today we are taking a look at what is calling for your attention right now. Welcome to Letty Speaks, also known as Sunfire 369, where we take a look at the energies happening around you, through you, um, things happening for you, right? All things concerning purpose. And so today we're taking a look at what is coming towards you, like what is trying to grab your attention. And so I have pulled three oracle cards. I have the Uncharted Sea for number one, and this card is accompanied by this leaf, this beautiful leaf. And then we have opening, or you're in the wrong order. Well, let's keep them how they are. Then we have opening to discovery. I don't want to confuse myself. And with opening to discovery, we actually have this leaf. Several leaves here, but it's this kind of leaf. Very different color. Still beautiful though. For number two. And then lastly, we have a higher view. These will be three separate readings. And with a higher view, we have this leaf. Out on my walk today, I was compelled to, it was so pretty out there. I was just kind of covered in leaves, and all the different colors had me, it really had me mesmerized. I'm a lover of fall, but today was definitely an experience, and so I had to bring part of that home. And this is the leaf for number three. So go ahead and choose one if you have not already. Uncharted Sea, opening to discovery, and a higher view. And if you chose reading number one, the Uncharted Sea, we'll begin with this reading. All right. So the Uncharted Sea is definitely the energy of being on some type of expedition or some type of exploration. I get the energy of not really knowing for sure what's ahead, not really having a clear understanding or a clear path of where, mentally, of where you are headed. But knowing that you are definitely charting in a specific way. You're definitely stepping out into the unknown, kind of without a map. And so, what is calling to your attention? It may very well be this energy, the energy of stepping into the unknown without a map and moving beyond your own comfort zone. It may very well be choosing to do things very differently than what you're used to, right? And freeing yourself from finality and being open to the ebb and flow of life, right? It may even be being in a comfort, a level of comfort, being in the dark. And when I say dark, I don't mean spiritual darkness. I mean concerning awareness, not necessarily having to know, but trusting and kind of letting curiosity lead. You know, it's almost like stepping out on faith, even though you can't see far ahead, and understanding and believing that everything is well. A journey of that sort may, in fact, be drawing you in or calling to you, may very well be calling your attention. You may find yourself kind of dissatisfied even with life, looking, thirsting, quenching with things that are out of the norm. Let's go ahead and get the other oracle cards that we have here supporting this energy. Let's see. And so, along with Uncharted Sea, we have Big Bold Vision, Trust Yourself, Trust Your Wisdom, and Protect Your Boundaries. And for those of you that are tapped into this reading, I'm asking that you just stop for a moment, take a deep breath in, fill up your lungs, fill up your stomach, your diaphragm with air until your stomach is just round like a balloon. Hold it for a second and then release with a sigh to your stomach, and your diaphragm just deflates. And once all the air is released, just take a moment to breathe normally. Before we go into this reading, kind of open your mind, open your consciousness, open your heart and your spirit, open the energies to be receptive for whatever might be for you in this reading. Don't feel like you're forced to accept it if it's not resonating, but if it is, allow yourself to receive it. Allow yourself to receive it. All right. And of course, Uncharted Sea is the theme of what is calling you. What's calling for your attention? And I feel like it's this energy, even as I look at the sea represents this big, vast space. It's not something that is controlled or it's not measured. It's limitless. When you think of the sea in depths, there's still depths of the sea that's been undiscovered, right? There's still places in the water that we have not gone because it's so deep, right? But it just gives the idea of being in a place, in a space with that's huge, that's big, that's uncontainable, that's unlimited. You know, there's more than enough. There's more than enough room. And as we look at big, bold vision, this kind of taps into that energy of understanding that there's something great for each of us. And we were not born into this life to play small or to be limited or to box ourselves in and restrict, you know, ourselves as it pertains to our creativity and our purpose and our imagination and the unlimited consciousness that exists for us and within us. We weren't born for that. We've been born with a consciousness, right? With a vision. And it's a huge vision. Big, bold vision. And I feel like it's so huge, it's almost unfathomable. Like there's parts of it that we don't know that we're capable of, that we've been called to. There's parts that we have no idea about. There's parts of it that we have no clue we're capable of bringing into existence. And part of that process involves being able to release ourselves. The uncharted sea is really being able to kind of set adrift, not having the GPS set for a destination, being able to set adrift, right? Part of that is not having to control it, being detached from control, right? And having to have things work out a certain way. It's understanding that part of that process, part of that outcome is left up to the creative genius of the universe. And we are co-creating. We're an agent in that creation, but the overall ultimate outcome is left in the hands of the Creator. Right? And so there's something that's calling to you. It could be a vision. It could be an idea that's coming to you. And there could be a bit of a worry that it may be too big or too much to handle. Or there's going to be too much work involved in this. Right? Just know that whatever is calling to you is absolutely yours. It's been given to you. Doesn't mean that there's no work to do. There could very much be work to do, but it's yours. And so there could be some signs that you're kind of breaking out, right, of where you are right now. But what's calling towards you is this big, bold, it's a big, bold vision. It's something bigger than you, something that you have not even been able to imagine. That's how big this is. You have to change to even receive it. You have to change your mindset, your ways to even encompass what this is. And so that's what is calling towards you, a huge, big, unfathomable vision. And it's calling you in. It's calling you in. I do sense work around this, just looking at this bee but I'm not talking about physical work. I'm looking at this bee on her third eye, right? There's work to be done. with this vision. The B represents diligence, hard work. It could also represent more than one, because bees usually work together and they work for a common goal, and so this could be something, a vision coming in on behalf of the whole. And this could be your part, your piece of this puzzle as it pertains to the whole. This big, bold vision. And that's what's calling for your attention right now. You could be busy, doing the 9 to 5 thing. You could be busy doing the school thing. You could even be busy raising the family, doing the family thing. Nevertheless, this big, bold calling is pulling at you, tugging at you. And with trust yourself, what's calling to you? With trust yourself, this is the understanding that it's bringing to your attention, it's calling to you the fact that you are a very intelligent being. You're so intelligent, you do things without even realizing that you do it. You have come up with solutions and figuring things out for yourself without even realizing that you have solved these plexers. You even know things without even knowing how you know. And there's like this natural sense of intelligence that you possess. And this intelligence draws you into consistent growing and evolving. And this is something that takes place without you even knowing it. That's what's drawing you, this continuous evolving and this continuous growing and maturing and pulling in more wisdom. Yeah. And so what's pulling you in with trust yourself is this level of cognition, this level of cognition of bringing all of these parts together and allowing them and not being against it, but allowing it, understanding that this is what's happening and that you don't necessarily have to completely understand, but just trusting yourself through the process and how things are unfolding on your behalf, and being able to really trust yourself during this process as all these things are unfolding before you. As you continue to grow, it's relinquishing any doubt, even if you don't see what it is that you know yet. And understanding that the seeds have been planted and they are coming to fruition. It's this understanding that is calling for your attention. You are being called. This energy is crying out for you to trust yourself through this process. And I feel like you may even have the intuition or the inclination to even know that things are changing. It's almost like a feeling that it's going to rain, right? You don't see any raindrops, but you can smell it. You can feel it in the air. There's something in the atmosphere. There's something in the energy that just tells you, I think it's going to rain. You know, it's being able to trust yourself when those nudges come in, when change is happening. I feel like your very life is changing, and you get that feeling like something huge, something big is changing around you, in you, within the people around you, in the spaces. The energy around you is changing. Through this process, you're being guided to really trust yourself. That's what's pulling you in right now. That's what's coming towards you. And it's calling for your attention, that you would pay attention and trust yourself as you see these things happening, as you feel these things happening. And don't overthink things. Don't worry so much. There's like a need to really release control, right? Don't worry so much. And trust yourself, understanding that you're doing a great job through this in life, period. When you trust yourself, you're able to relax and enjoy instead of trying to measure every step along the way. And you're more apt to really heed your own wisdom when you're relaxed as well. And the messages and the connections are able to happen more easily. And so, with this big energy, this big destiny that's unfolding around you, that's unfolding within you, there's the need to really understand this process is happening for you. And it's nothing to fear. And there's the need to align with it and be open to it and flow with it. Even with the things that would happen that seem unpleasant, understand that those things are actually happening as things are evolving. It's actually in sync with what's happening. And there's no need to judge it or think of it in negative light, because it's part of the experience that's happening for you, that's calling you in. It's part of that experience. And it's important not to be hard on yourself. This is a time to really have grace with yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't be ashamed, as you go through cycles or go through experiences, because it's the experience that's happening on this uncharted adventure or expedition, right? And it's bringing you somewhere, and everything that's happening is happening for a reason. And it's almost like everything is happening is preparing you for the next step. And so understand that everything is very purposeful. And so that's what's calling you in, to trust yourself. Again, we got trust twice. Trust your wisdom. I also feel like there could be lots of things happening that's calling to your attention, literally. And I feel like these things could be within nature itself. These things could be within nature itself. It's almost like there is an attention that is needed when it comes to Mother Nature, when it comes to the earth, when it comes to creation as a whole. I feel like there is a crying out that's happening right now. And you are one of the ones that are being called to pay attention to it. And I even feel like that's part of this inner knowing that you are intrinsically connected to. There's a growing awareness, a growing connection that you have to nature. And it may very well even be animals. It may even be plants or insects. It may be the most random things. But you are being guided to trust in this process, in what's happening as it unfolds, even as your awareness around these random things are growing and your attention is being called to them. Give your attention to them. They have something to say. And you may very well have something to say to them as you are being guided to trust your wisdom. There are things that you know that you don't even know why you know or how you know, but you just know. And you're being really pulled into this very relaxed, very fun, very wild, loving wisdom that you have. Yeah. Because it's something, I feel like it really is. There's an energy here that's being multiplied and manifested and being brought to the forefront of your existence and your consciousness that really is aligning with this cognitive energy. Like I'm keep being pulled back to you already know. You already know. And so there's a lot here going on that's being pulled into your consciousness. And you being able to pay attention to that and trust it. Understand that this is the source of your wisdom that's being brought to your attention. That's being uncovered through your experiences. And that's being uncovered even within your own body. And there's the need here for you to heed to it. It's calling out to you. It's calling out to your attention. And it's time to trust that. Even things within your own body, it's time to trust it. One of the most wisest, one of the best things that you can do is listen to your body. It's not what the scale says that's important. How do you feel in your body? Do you feel healthy? Health doesn't have a number, so the scale can't tell you whether you're healthy or not. But how do you feel in your body? Are you tired, right? Are you overly anxious? Are you angry? What are you feeling in your body? Or do you feel good? Right? Is there a natural sense of pleasure that you feel in your body? And I'm not talking about stimulated pleasure. I'm talking about just being able to sit still and do a scan through your body and feel good about what you're feeling in your body. Or is there pain? And if there's pain, finding the source of that pain, right? And eradicating the source so that you can get back to feeling good in your body. And I'm not talking about feeling good because you've taken something to block the pain, but just a natural feeling, if that's possible. Going back to feeling what it feels just to naturally feel good. I know sometimes we can eat things that then whatever we have eaten sends signals to our body. Like certain things you can eat gives you headaches. And many times we don't tie it to eating, but it was actually something that you ate, or something that you're eating is giving you excessive indigestion, heartburn, inflammation, things like that. Listening to your body. And when your body says, don't eat that anymore, that hurts me. It's being able to listen and trust your wisdom. Trust the wisdom, even that's coming from your own body. Yeah, I'm letting go of the doubt and moving confidently in the direction of the wisdom that's been shown to you already. This is what you already know. Yeah, letting go of any doubt. When we do that, then we can enter into that energy of trust and a playfulness and the delight, right? That life offers, that's natural to all of us. That is actually our birthright. You don't have to earn that. That was given to you at birth. Yeah. And with protect your boundaries, there's a level of understanding what you have, what you've been given, and the need and the wisdom of understanding how to guard that, when to guard that, why you need to guard that. Protect your boundaries. It's almost like a bird understanding the vital importance of its wings, right? And the need to protect them because they're what allows it to fly. It's like that analogy, right? Think of it in that way. And again, this too is part of your birthright. Your boundaries, you being able to set limits that's going to keep you healthy and keep you safe and allow you to protect yourself. And this is the need to really, what's drawing your attention is the need to cultivate, boundaries and consciously set up, spaces and places and ways that you can guard yourself. The importance of that. For whoever I'm calling to, there may be a need to set firmer boundaries. In the same way that an ungated garden would be open to predators to come in, so too is our energy when it lacks a strong container or strong boundaries. It's just, easily lost. And so you're being driven, or the energy coming towards you or calling your attention is the energy to be watchful. Be generous, but be watchful as well, because this is your life force that we're talking about. And so you're being brought to that attention. That's what's calling to you right now as you sail out and open up to explore and to allow yourself to really connect even deeper, even higher, even wider as you expand this space of opportunity and awareness around you, in you. This energy that's moving you right now into your highest timeline, into your highest self, right? This is calling for your attention. No longer is it enough to just accept the mundane, whatever that is. It could be the husband, 2 kids, and a dog, the white picket fence in a house, the car. Those things are good, if I can say that, the American dream, or whatever the dream is where you are if you're not in America. But what's even better is the uncharted sea, this designated space that the universe has picked out for you, with no holds barred, with no limits, no set expectations that's far beyond anything that you can ever imagine. Think of your grandest vision, right? And it's even bigger than that. You haven't even came close to it. What the universe has prepared for you, the space available for you. That's what is calling for your attention, and everything that comes along with that. And you are at the center of this. So this calling that's happening, let's find out how this calling is coming through to you. How is this calling coming through to you? I pulled a few cards from an oracle deck, and I pulled some tarot cards as well. So I have physical activity, spirituality, and synchronicities. So definitely through synchronicities, those are things that would happen that would line up. I'm being called to that card first. It's almost like the universal order of things. They're like events. And it's the understanding that there are no such things as accidents or coincidences. Everything has purpose when it comes to the universe. Everything has been given a purpose. No matter how unpurposeful it may seem, everything. People, opportunities, right? Everything has purpose. And many times you find that when you least expect it, that's when you find that purpose. That's when people will pop up or doors will open. Even when you can't possibly understand how this big, beautiful vision you have could possibly be brought to life. It's trusting in the synchronicity as they happen for you, because they have nothing to do with you. These are initiated by the Creator, by the universe. And the universe, the Creator, does not have limits, right? There's no limits for the Creator, for the universe, which makes it even that much more exciting, even that much more whimsical, because you never know what to expect. It's almost like, I don't know why I'm getting the vision of going through a haunted house. You never know what's coming around the corner, or when something's going to lunge out at you, or it's just walking through unexpected, and that's the energy of being on the uncharted sea. You never know. You just trust in the magical power of the synchronicities to bring these through, right? To bring it through, to bring the messages through, to bring the opportunities through, so that whatever has been designated for you will actually appear in the right time. What you need in the right time. And it's not necessarily the best part of this is it's not your job to know. You don't have to know, which makes it even better. That's why you can kind of enjoy with fun and laughter and enjoyment. It really is supposed to be an enjoyable trip, right? The hugest part of this is out of your hands. And just knowing and understanding that, you're able to sit back and enjoy as things synchronize for you, as things unfold for you. So it's coming to you. It's coming to you by synchronicities. These are things that have been arranged through the Creator, through the universe. The only thing that you have to do is just believe and trust, and know that it's all happening for you. Right? And it's coming when you surrender the outcome to the divine. Right? That's how you know it's coming. When you finally let it go and surrendered the outcome, then it's coming. That's when it pops up from out around the corner, right? When you've let it go. And so there's definitely synchronicities happening. You could be paying attention and finding things just happening out of the blue, or people, someone you don't know pops up and they have, the solution for something you've been working on for, over a year. And all of a sudden someone just randomly pops up and starts talking about how to do something that you haven't been able to figure out. Things like that, synchronicities. That's how these things are coming through. They're coming through synchronicities. They're also coming through by way of spirituality, which is enhancing, things that you would do to really strengthen or enhance your connection to the divine, to enhance your relationship also with yourself as well. Spirituality is really a way to enhance your quality of life. It's remembering that you're not having a spiritual experience. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. And it's your relationship with Source that leads to this place of complete fulfillment, complete inner peace, complete acceptance. Everything that you need is through your relationship, both with the divine and with yourself. And this is how this is coming through. And so I'm talking to someone that could be very spiritual, that could be connected. You're very connected, not only with yourself right now, but also with the divine, and you're cultivating a relationship. And these knowings these connections, these leadings are coming through that connection. Yeah, it's coming through that connection. This could be during times where you're meditating. This could be times where you're out and about connecting with nature or connecting with yourself, you know. And I feel like the more you connect, the more you find synchronicities happen, or the more you connect things, the more you are drawing out wisdom, that has always been there. The more there is this uncovering or revealing of the true essence of your existence, of your being. And so you're being encouraged to really continue strengthening your relationship and celebrate it, your connection with the divine. And you can do that however you choose. But by doing that, this is going to allow that open pathway for the leading of these things to come through, for these messages to come through, for the direction to continue to come through, for doors to continue to open, and synchronicities and wisdom and the cognition in yourself to actually grow stronger, and for you to move closer to the big, giant vision that you have. And even more than that, the vision that the divine has for you, the vision that the universe has prepared for you. That's how this is coming towards you. Yeah. And it's simple things. I'm not talking about no big elaborate thing. You don't have to go up to the mountain and, spend 30 days or you don't have to fast. It's simple things like prayer. It's simply just connecting with spirit, meditating. It could be just making quiet time, setting aside periods of silence and contemplation. It could also be fun things as well, like going on retreats or attending worship services, whatever you prefer. It's not so much of how you do it. There's no right or wrong way to connect. Only you know your ultimate path to source, to God, to the Creator, to the divine. Only you know. Each one of us has the responsibility of knowing for ourselves. And this is coming through synchronicities, through your connection to the divine, to yourself as well. And with physical activity, it's also coming through as well. And so when you exercise, this could be a way of having this come through in some type of way. There's a physical activity that brings this towards you. This could actually be a release. There's something that's happening when you exercise physically, when you exert yourself physically. There could be a release of some type of chemical in your body that's causing a connection in that way, that's causing endorphins to be released into the brain, creating this overall sense of wellness or self-confidence, or it could even be peace. We attract what it is that we feel. And when we constantly feel good, that's what manifests the blessings and, these instances in our lives for good things to happen and for fortune to come our way. And so regularly exerting yourself, regular exercise can benefit you in that way. Not just physically, obviously, but even emotionally, even spiritually. It can enhance our physical and psychological well-being, while also giving other benefits as well, right? We can't really live up to the highest calling of our lives if we're not healthy. If you can't get out of bed, how are you going to travel across the world to do what it is that you've been dreaming about since you were young? You know, it's practical. I love this because it's very well balanced. It's very practical. It's the practical part of this, right? It's okay to be a spiritual being, but we're also living a physical existence. So there's a practical part of this as well. When it comes to things like manifestation, manifesting, physical exertion really increases like the energy flow through the body, which helps to release those toxins and negative emotions. And what this does is this raises the overall vibration and enhances the connection to source. And so this is how these signs, this is how this is coming about. It's how it's coming through. And so if you're doing physical exercise, by all means, keep doing it, right? Don't overdo it, but stay physically healthy. Listen to your body, trust, right? If you're connecting, make time, continue doing that. Continue being open to see and hear and feel and sense, the synchronicities. I did pull some tarot cards too for how is this coming through. We have the Six of Swords, the Three of Cups, the Four of Swords, actually let's just move these down here, the Devil and the Sun. I might have pulled these out the opposite way, but that's okay. And the Sun. And so we have the Six of Swords, the Three of Cups, the Four of Swords, the Devil, and the Sun. And so immediately, I know the Six of Swords is a time of moving away from all drama, right? Separating yourself from anything that would cause distraction, distress, drama, anything that would cause any type of conflict internally or externally. There's the need, right, to stay away from that, to stay away from those types of things. This is how you can keep that flow, right? It's how to keep that flow, that connection, and to keep that movement of what is coming towards you here. When we talk about what's calling your attention, what's coming in towards you, how to keep that coming towards you is to stay away from anything that would separate you from love, from peace, from joy, from, the good things that you experience when you're taking care of yourself, when you're connecting, and when you're listening and watching and attuned to what's being sent your way. This is the willingness to change anything that would get in the way of that and to move away from it, right? This is like the energy of being fluid in that way, right? And not being afraid to move away if needed. It can be hard, but it's easier when you release control and you understand the bigger picture or the bigger issue at risk, right? Right here we have the connection with the third eye with the violet ribbon. So there's some type of connection here with this Six of Swords, the need to stay tapped in. I feel like there's going to be times where you're asked to actually move away from something or someone. You may not fully understand why, but being tapped into your third eye, there's that level of trust there, that level of understanding, that level of wisdom that will push you forward to do whatever it is that you're seeing, that you're tapped into, that you may not even be able to see it unless you're tapped in. And this could also be in terms of moving towards things in that way as well, being tapped in because you see on a deeper level. Yeah. And so there's a need to be tapped in, because what you don't understand on the physical plane may have a greater significance spiritually. There's always two sides to every coin, two ways to look at things. And so there's a need to release control and be tapped in. And swords can be sometimes a little resistant. And so, yeah, when it comes to moving and changing, there's a need to really understand the importance of it and to not get stuck. With the Three of Cups, this definitely is the energy of like celebration or connecting, being very jovial and celebratory. Yeah. Being able to celebrate things or people that have been of great support. I feel like that's the energy here, the Three of Cups. It could also be the energy of just celebrating often, or recognition in that way of what has worked. And then the Four of Swords, it's almost like moving from the Three of Swords to the Four of Swords, moving from this celebratory energy into more of a meditative state, right? Take moments of celebration, but also understand the importance of a meditative state. And it's that energy of fluidity, okay, of balance. How is this coming in for you? Three of Cups to the Four of Cups. Continue moving. Don't get stuck. Again, is what I'm hearing. Yeah. And then with I feel like there's this continuous moving. There will be moments of celebration, They may not be for very long, and then it's on to the next step. Don't get stuck is what I'm hearing. Don't get stuck. Yeah. So how's this coming towards you? In consistent movement, right? Consistent movement. And then interestingly, we have the devil and the sun here. And I can't help but think of the energy of allurement or, temptation, the things that would, threaten to take away a sense of your freedom or divert you from your true north, And offering opportunities also to break patterns is what I'm hearing as well. Or exchanging those old habits and those old patterns for a new sense of freedom, right? And so the opportunities to actually break patterns are coming towards you. As these things are being brought towards you, they're coming in this form of continuous movement here, and also breaking patterns and exchanging the bondage for freedom. Exchanging the bondage for freedom. Emerging into something new. Taking the opportunity to come into being. Yeah, coming into a level of clarity and continuous movement. Yeah. And the beetle always comes up in my readings. They always come up for me. The beetle definitely represents new birth, new life. And so it's exchanging the old ways. How these experiences are going to be played out. I feel like is what Spirit is saying. It's going to be continuous change, continuous movement. Not only that, it's going to be presented in opportunities to exchange the old for the new. What would have tripped you up in the past is now going to be an opportunity for celebration, for liberation, for freedom, for joy. And yeah, so the beetle means rebirth. It's like it has a sense of adaptability and creation. Also carries good luck as well, and strength and the energy of teamwork. Kind of like the bee. Yeah. It's the energy of resilience. And so that's how this is coming in. It's bringing continuous movement and opportunities to overcome what may have in fact been difficult or presented as setbacks in the past. I feel like there's a level of triumph and victory over those things. And in seeing those come up and you triumph over them, with this strength that you have that becomes evident, that's where the celebration comes in. It's recognizing yourself now. It's understanding that that was never you, right? And no longer identifying with those old things. As you move forward triumphantly. So expect it. Not all bad things are, intended to be bad. Some things come through just to show you who you are, to show you your strength. And they'll be coming just to show you that about yourself. I want to know how you will be affected. How are you being affected by this? By these occurrences, by these truths, by these opportunities to really connect with yourself on a deeper level with more trust and, allowing this cognitive connection and really trusting yourself on a deeper level and allowing that the most greatest sense of, authenticity to be brought forth. Yeah. I want to know, how is this affecting you? And so we're pulling from our chakra deck. And we have our tree and mountain pose cards here. And so the tree is talking about finding harmony, planting your roots deep within the earth. And mountain pose is talking about stability, kind of the same, right? Stability and rootedness, aligned with the stability of the earth for grounding and support, and open your higher vision as you do. Grounding down so that you can be more open on the top within your vision, right? How is this affecting you? And so this is calling you to be more rooted. This is calling you to find out how you can be grounded so that you can open up consciously to accept more, to move in a greater capacity. There's the need to be rooted. This is calling in a greater level of getting grounded. Yeah. So this picture has a tree on it. There's also like a little shadow here. And I feel like it's just representing you as the tree. One and the same. Looking at a tree, we often notice like the trunk of the tree and its roots, sometimes are sprouting up above the ground. And then it's almost bringing in the energy of understanding whether or not the roots are shallow or whether they are deep and supportive of the tree, right? That's what brings to mind when we look at that, and you see the roots coming up above. It's like, are they really deep? Like, are they deep enough to support this huge tree. And then we look at the crown of the tree as well. And we look at the branches and the leaves, which are the outer expression, of the tree. And this tree, it represents us in a physical sense. When it comes to its roots, it needs nourishment. And then the leaves, which is the outer expression, that would be like our hair or our smile. And so this would represent like a balance within the root system, which actually it spreads nutrition throughout the whole tree, but it starts from the root, and it's from the root that the branches are nourished. Everything starts from the root. A tree is able to grow strong and be healthy and be, substantially supported when it has an environment that supports that. When it has proper nutrition, water nearby that's able to make sure that it's replenished, when it has the proper sun, the proper exposure, to everything that it would need to flourish. And so in that same way, it's calling us also to have our deepest support when it comes to nutrients that would keep us alive and help us to thrive in the root of our existence. And so the root is actually connected to our bodies and our sense of home, our sense of belonging. And I feel like for who this is speaking to, this may be something to definitely look at. Like, does this part need attention? Because this is the beginning of the beginning of providing substance, right? This is the root of the tree. And the root of the tree furnishes everything that would sprout out above ground. It all starts at the root. And if the root is our sense of belonging, it's almost like making sure that you're not neglecting your physical well-being by eating, unhealthily, by not drinking enough water, not getting enough rest, not getting exercise, making sure that your home environment is clean and making sure that it's purified as necessary, getting rid of clutter and making room for ourselves to be spacious. It's those types of things. Making time to stop and listen to our bodies or connect on a higher level. I feel like this is what is being really observed or brought up to the forefront for whoever is resonating. You may find yourself really zoning in on those points right now because this is drawing your attention to these parts. Because these parts are necessary to make sure that the nutrition is able to reach to the higher level This is where the vision is supported. It's supported from the root, from you taking care of the most basic parts of your being so that the even more significant parts are able to function properly. So this may be causing you to really pay attention and even do some possible work around these areas. It may be bringing or drawing attention to parts that need attention, and this may have something to do with the root chakra, your sense of belonging. How is that? How you're nourishing yourself, how you're living. How is your space, your living space? Look around you and see like the outside influences that may be having an effect on your physical experience. Right? And if you do find something and become aware of something that's not serving you, you know, being in a position to actually cause a change there for your benefit. Make a commitment to yourself to draw up what you need from the roots of your being, making changes as necessary so that you can reach to new heights. And with that comes stability, the mountain poles, aligning with the stability of the earth for grounding and support, and open to higher vision. That word vision keeps coming up, doesn't it? Vision. You might even not have understood that vision, your ability to be open to see things greater than yourself, is actually connected to just simple general things of living, right? Like how you're eating, how much you're sleeping, whether or not you're getting exercise. What is the energy like where you spend most of your time? Is it chaotic or is it peaceful and, normal? Is it functional, you know? And if it's not, if those things aren't being met, then it restricts your ability, it restricts your vision, right? Your ability to reach beyond yourself. And so the actual mountain pose, we're talking about yoga, right? Are pointing to, it's actually this one is pointing to mountains, right? Which are actually foundational symbols of strength on the earth. And it's almost like our ability to really stabilize, number one, and realign as well. Our ability to be still and kind of readjust in times of chaos, right? Is very interesting. Because we think of a mountain and we obviously think of times of, intensity or moving up or conquering some type of challenge. When you go to climb a mountain, it always makes us think of a challenge, something that's, going to heighten our abilities, or it's going to need tenacity. It's symbolically associated with challenge or difficulties. And so this pose, which is associated with the mountain, it asks us to connect to the earth and to the stillness within ourselves. And just like that, with the real mountains that lie on the earth, the power within that challenge of climbing a mountain actually asks us to do even more. Right? And so through this process, it's almost like seeing ourselves like the mountains. Even so much as like a bridge between heaven and earth, between the sky and the earth. And with our feet planted on the ground, imagine that, and then reach high up for the sky. And our feet still planted on the ground, and we extend our bodies up energetically and mentally to even reach higher. So this association of the mountain with this root chakra is a reminder not to really lose our connection with what stabilizes us. Keep your feet planted on the ground, but reach, right? Keep reaching, but don't lose your stability. Don't lose your connection and your groundedness that keeping your feet planted on the ground offers. That's the first energy center that we're consistently being reminded to plant the seeds in and feel the strength down in our base where our support grows. Our support in order grows, right? Yeah, we're reaching, but it's a building of the structure. We're reaching and we're not losing our footing. We're not losing our groundedness and our stability, right? Just like the tree grows up, trees grow up high as the branches allows them to grow, or as high as the trunk is able to stretch, but it always remains planted in the ground. It never loses contact with the ground. It remains planted. In that same way, as high as we go, we have to remain stably planted and grounded. That's where our balance is. That's where our stability lies. And so as we reach towards those bigger visions and towards the expansion of ourselves, you are being guided to focus in on the root to make sure that you are stable, grounded, balanced, and rooted through this process. As you move forward, as you grow, as you open up and consciously become more fluid, yeah, it's necessary. Otherwise, we lose stability. We lose groundedness. And so there's the energy of manifestation also associated with this card, interestingly enough. In those caves, in some caves of sacred mountains, transformation takes place. And this is beyond what we know or see with our rational mind, but this rebirth in many ways is based on adding faith to the mix. Having faith in self, in the place you are right now, and in your ability to actually shift your mind, Those are things or keys to manifesting abundance on all levels. It's being fluid in that way. If for any reason and any time that you feel restricted, or whatever it is that you are facing feels overwhelming or massive, you have the ability to mentally reach up above the peaks and the clouds in your mind and welcome the expansion in your thoughts. Yeah, that's that energy of manifestation. But this is bringing the attention to make sure that your root is grounded and firmly planted. That is your base of support. Okay? So no matter how far you reach up, you won't lose your groundedness. And it may in fact be bringing up things that would cause you to have to really pay attention to areas that need help, that areas that need reinforcement, or some things that need healing. So my tarot cards I pulled for how you are affected by this. We have the Ace of Voices, the Priestess, the Nine of Inspiration, and the Five of Voices. I feel like this is definitely causing lots of change, lots of transformation to come in. Definitely with the Five of Voices. Fives talks about change in the way that we think. It's challenging you to use what has been possibly sitting idle for a long time. And it's giving opportunity. It's giving the encouragement and the empowerment to kind of restructure the way that we think about things, the way that you have thought about things up to this point that may or may not have caused, a little bit of stagnation. Mm-hmm. And of course, there is the High Priestess, that energy of trusting self, of being connected not only to yourself, but to Source, to the divine, to your higher power. And definitely a level of mental clarity. During the spiritual connection that's happening here, addressing the root, whether you're doing this physically or whether this is something that's synchronically being brought to you, there is a working through the root chakra, the root energy, what we just talked about that grounding energy, being stably found, being stable in your foundation. And through that, there is the gift of clarity, mental clarity that's being given. And it's given you a breakthrough with how you see things. The expansion of your imagination is happening through this. There's almost like a birth that's happening within your mind, within your consciousness. And it's giving birth to rational thought and aligning it with enlightenment of spiritual awareness. And there's almost like an awakening of intellectual genius that's happening. You may actually be finding yourself theorizing on things that you know nothing about, but all of a sudden you have this awareness of it as it relates to science or art or music or even just basic mundane things having to do with lifestyle. Yeah. So there's like a mental awakening around clarity that's happening. Yeah. And I'm having this thought that's coming to my mind right now as I'm doing this reading. And I don't know how many of you have watched The Planet of the Apes, the very first one with Caesar. There was a moment um, where the father, the guy that raised Caesar, him and his father, for those of you that have watched it, him and his father um, raised Caesar, right? And when Caesar got old enough, as Caesar got older, the father began to decline in his awareness and consciousness and his health. You know, he began to become really slow, and um, his consciousness began to darken and close slowly. And the son ended up giving him one of the experimental doses of drugs. And he woke up the next morning and he was, his consciousness had been sparked and awakened. And whereas it took him like a whole day to do a simple task, he got up that next morning after having that dose of the experimental drug, and he was playing, classical music on the piano, just whole pieces by memory. And it was almost like night and day. His consciousness was sparked, and there was this creative genius that was awakened in him. And it was almost like being taken all the way back, maybe 30, 40 years to the vitality of his life. Spirit is showing me that. There's like this awakening. There's like this turning back of time as it pertains to your consciousness and the vitality of it. It's mental focus, clarity, and direction to achieve a goal. That's what's coming in. That's how this is affecting you as it pertains to stabilizing from the root. Yeah. And also, I have the energy here that's coming in. How you're being affected is there's like a clarity, a deepening of your understanding as it pertains to the mysteries, right? There could be like an enlightening that you're feeling as you connect to people. You could be connecting even on a deeper level in ways that you really don't understand, but you can feel it. It's like a deep wisdom and intuition that you're feeling. And again, like I was saying, there's a knowing of things. You don't know how you know it, you just know it. Yeah, like an energy of all knowing. And there could be like synchronicities too coming through that you are seeing and feeling and noticing and witnessing. This is definitely psychic energy. Um, and this energy is coming in and it's helping you to balance as well, and make very important choices with this level of connection. Yeah, it's seeing on a deeper level, opening up to the conscious realms, and opening to the unconscious realms as well. It's almost like pulling back the veil, being on both sides of the veil, helping with that clarity and purpose, and seeing the potential as well. And so there's a deeper level of connection that's definitely happening, that's going to allow um, a greater grasp of what it is that you are being opened up to, or what's being set before you, where you're being led. And it's going to also usher in usefulness for everything that you carry, even those things that have presented a difficult time along this journey as you have arrived to this place where you are right now. I feel like there's been some difficult transitions, some traumatic times that's played a part in this, leaving you a bit weary and a little bit battered as well. But you hold your space and you hold your ground very well, and you've survived. Right now, I'm tasting um, sharp cheddar cheese right now. I don't know why I'm tasting that, but I'm tasting sharp cheddar cheese right now. And so there has been along this way, I'm getting this feeling from the Nine of Wands, the Nine of Inspiration. There's been difficult times where it's been hard trusting yourself. And those things, the people and the world around you, there's been very anxious energy along the way, and also being very defensive as well. These rough paths that you've traveled on has kind of cultivated this energy, and you've kind of adapted to this as a way of protection in many ways, while gathering up and holding on to all of these giftings that you possess on the inside, right? And though the path has been hard, I feel like this is a time of really having an opportunity to sort things out in that way. And it's providing the gift of really reclaiming the opportunity to proclaim the spiritual strength and the life that is rightfully yours. Yeah. It's an opportunity to grow and expand out of what has been very toxic or traumatic experiences, and turning it into fulfillment for yourself, and turning it into a changed way of thinking. But again, with synchronicities, nothing is ever useless. Everything is useful. Everything. And so even some of the traumatic or the toxic experiences will play a part. I feel like it will be made as a tool of an effective way of, moving forward. I feel like it's going to present opportunities with where it is that you're being led right now. Nothing is without purpose. And if nothing else, it has played a part in this change that's happened mentally, right? This change that has allowed you to turn the conflict into, into strength, right? For yourself. It wasn't so much of trying to change your environment or change people, it turned you inwardly and made the best you that was possible, right? It's the energy, okay, I may not be able to control them, but I can definitely control myself. I may not be able to control the situation, but I can control myself. I can control how I respond to it. I can control whether or not I give my power away and choose to become what I'm a victim of or not, right? So there was a strengthening that happened through these experiences, and it was almost like a making of where you are and who you are today. And it very well have brought you to a point of having to go back to the foundations that may not have been laid correctly to readjust them, to attend to them, and to strengthen them. Yeah. And the root chakra, this is influences on family and home and livelihood, your ability to go out and make a place for yourself in the world. It's at the base of the spine. It's represented by the color red. Really practical energy. And allows you to really be grounded and take up your space. It's birthright. It's birthright. Yeah. And so our last question is, what are you being asked to do? And I did pull my last cards concerning this spread. My last cards concerning this spread. Let's see. And so we have sacred lust, and we have divine lineage. And so I feel like, the root chakra doesn't address I feel like when we're talking about sacred lust, we're getting more into the sacral chakra, which is right above the root chakra. Nevertheless, I could be speaking to someone who has very fiery energy. Someone who is more in the energy or tapping into the energy of Venus. I'm thinking Venus energy, that very fiery, passionate, very sexual energy. But it's also understanding the purpose behind it. And many things are very multifaceted, right? Energy definitely is, and it's used in so many different ways, especially when it comes to sexual energy. That is tapping into our creative energy. Our sacral chakra is right above the root chakra. And so you're being guided to understand that, yeah, it's the energy of sex, for instance, was very purposeful, right? Yes, we are created to continue creating, right? To continue with our legacy, to have babies and to populate and to do what we've been created to do. Our bodies naturally do that, but we were also created to enjoy life as well and to allow ourselves to experience pleasure. That's why we were created. And on a higher frequency, we were also created, that energy, that sexual, passionate, very vibrant energy was also created to support, just like the root chakra supports our groundedness and our stability, right? So we go up one to the sacral chakra, and this supports our creativity, our ability to flow and be open and connect on a higher level, to allow that energy to be channeled through us, that creative energy, so that what has been housed and purposed by the universe can actually flow through us, so that our vessel is open and able to carry the energy through, right? And so there could be an energy here moving forward. You're being guided to understand that energy that you carry is multifaceted, it's multi-purposed, right? It's multi-purposed. Understand that. Very fiery energy. And so don't feel shame. Don't feel like you need to hide. This is going back to the root chakra as well, taking up space and feeling, your sense of home, right? It's being comfortable in your body. Understanding that you weren't made this way on accident. There's nothing wrong with you. Everything that you are is very purposeful. You've been given it for a purpose. So I'm sensing a very high sexual energy, very high sexual drive, very intense sensuality as well, very purposeful. Yeah. In this sense, I feel like it has some connection with this energy of creativity, of tapping into yourself in that way. So you're being asked to accept that part of yourself. Don't try to hide or shun away from that. That it's very natural. There's nothing wrong with that. It was ingrained in the very making of your body, of your being. Right? It's purposeful in this grand picture that is you. With divine lineage, with divine lineage, definitely connection with the ancestors here, and a sense of protection, and a sense of the energy of a holy vessel. So there's a sacred energy here. So I most definitely hope you're not feeling some type of way about what you've been given, because it's divine, it's purposeful. You are divine. Whew. You are purpose-filled. And you are to understand moving forward that you don't walk alone. You don't walk alone. So don't think for one moment that you do, because you don't. You're surrounded with ancestors. And they want you to know, you may very well, if you are attuned in that way, you may very well be aware of that, of the presence and the surrounding. And I'm seeing troves of trolls, just a long line of ancestors. And they don't play about you. And it's a long, wide line of ancestors, is what I'm seeing. But they want you to know that you are not alone. As you move forward, you have lots of support. And they are wanting you to acknowledge and admonish them. Speak their names. Acknowledge them. And if you're led or called to actually go further, be open to hear the direction. And this may be a need to go and be around water. I just heard many waters, many waters. So you may need to go and be around water. And you may have messages coming through near the water. There's something there about water. So as you move forward, there's no shame here. Everything that you are was on purpose and intentional, and is beautiful and is powerful, and is going to be used within alignment of your purpose powerfully. And you have all the support you need and more. You lack nothing. As you move forward, understand this. You lack nothing. For my tarot cards, I have the Seven of Wands, the Star, the Three of Pentacles. I'm trying to lay these down as neatly as I can. The Prince of Swords, and the Eight of Strength. I'm sorry, not the Eight of Strength, but the Strength card. It's actually a major arcana card. I don't know why I said the Eight of Strength. So maybe 8 is significant. Let me see. What is 8? So 8 is a number of manifestation, right? I don't know why I said 8, but I'm going to go with it. Trusting that nothing happens by chance, right? It's a number of manifestation. And it's a number that brings to your attention that you are to acknowledge the power of your mind and your ability to manifest your desires. So I could be speaking to someone who is like a master manifester. You carry heavy manifesting energy. And there's a need to really tap into that deeper, right? To understand what it is that you carry more. If you understand it more, you're able to actually utilize it more effectively, more skillfully, more purposefully. You could be in a cycle of divine manifestation right now, because so you could be heavily influential right now. So there's a need to really pay attention to your intuition, your intentions, excuse me, right now. And understand that you are co-creating with the divine, right? Which makes that unlimited energy your influence. And it's the understanding that manifestation, to do it successfully, it's more than just wishful thinking or positive thinking. It's also releasing control and surrendering to the outcome. Just like you need to pay attention to your intentions, it's also paying attention to your doubts and your fears and your worries, monitoring the negative thoughts that could be that root chakra energy, paying attention to what would cause instability within you, and making sure that you intend on focusing on what it is that you want, not what you don't want. Okay, so that was the 8 that I was hearing, or that I said. I didn't mean to, but I did, so I just went with it. Okay, so we were just talking about the energy of accepting all parts of yourself. I was feeling this heavily strong sexual energy here. And the fact that it is purposeful, it's definitely rooted in the sacral chakra, and it also allows this very potent creative energy to flow. There's some type of connection there. As we're moving forward, this is what is being brought to you. What you are being asked to do is accept yourself on every level. There's no shame here. There's no fear here. This is natural. This is what has been gifted to you, right? Now understand how you can use that for your benefit is what is being brought to your attention, what you're being asked to do. Also understanding your connection and who is around you. There's a heavy ancestral energy surrounding you. You're being asked and guided to connect on a deeper level. If you're able to step over by water, deep water is what I heard. And with our tarot cards, we have the 7 of Wands, the Star, the 3 of Pentacles, the Prince of Swords, and the Strength. So you are being led to sacred spaces. And this may very well be experiences that you're having that's very specific to you. This could be something that you may not even be able to share with anybody, right? This is something specific to you that maybe only you have experienced. Maybe you are able to share. Maybe you just haven't ran in or been brought into the company of someone that can relate, but you're being led to secret spaces. You're being brought into sacred energy as well. And this energy that you carry, this energy that you are stepping into, that you are being given, needs to be guarded and protected and defended if necessary. In this energy, there is a sense of renewal, renewed hope. The expectations are coming to life. There's a high level of positivity. It's almost like a really high vibrational energy. Prophetic dreaming. That divine timing, right? Aligning with the synchronicities, opportunities. It's almost like so everything that's happening, you're going to be able to see beauty in all of it. You are being guided to divine spaces, to sacred spaces, right? Very protected spaces. And there's a need to understand the truth of it and the need to guard it and defend it. Defend your position, right? Because the spaces that you're being led to may very well, they're going to be very bright spaces. It's going to cause lots of attention. It's going to cause a light to be shined around you. And so there could be possibly things to defend, along this way. But that's with anyone, This energy came out earlier about protecting or setting good boundaries, right? Talking about your container. Taking good care of your container. And the need to protect your inner light as well from possible outward influences, other people's negative opinions, or scarcity mindset, not really having the need to seek for outward validation. I'm hearing that's a big one. And, learning how to protect yourself energetically and really attuning to your energy as you move forward. It's understanding this and understanding what's needed along this way. I feel like along this way as well, there's going to be a continuous need for balance. The star brings in a level of balance, like she's entering into a sacred space. In this sacred space, she's being revived and refilled and replenished and guided and led and connected and charged, right? It's like going to a super spa to get all of the specials, and coming out supercharged, and so there's going to be a need often for this. And this may be resonating with more than one person, for whatever it is you're being led to do. There's going to be a need for a high level of self-care. A high level of self-care. Sometimes you can just have a conversation and walk away just completely drained, This is going to be a need for a high level of self-care, however that resonates. Taking care of yourself, finding ways to really control your energy within the environments that you'll be in. I'm hearing that's going to be big. just being attuned to your energy and listening as you move forward. Definitely there's the energy of collaboration here on the table. Being open to that. I feel like as it pertains to you being able to work with others, this is possibly going to be a tool or a very important way that you're actually going to be able to continue evolving and growing and discover more about yourself. I feel like there is a special need to connect for you. There's like a magic that happens with collaboration. Mm-hmm. And so there's a need to connect here. You could be someone that's still kind of going through possibly transformation. Definitely haven't really got back out to reconnect the way you were connecting before the transformation. There's many reasons why you may not understand the importance of connecting and collaborating. However, I see a very significant need for that as it pertains to what it is that you're being led to and what you're doing. I'm hearing synergy. There's an energy that you'll share in. Mm-hmm. And there's something that will be birthed with this collaboration or with collaborations, with the synergy that'll be cultivated. There's something special that will be birthed out of it. Maybe there's going to be a furthering of understanding or insight in some type of way for you with that. So definitely be open to collaboration. Moving forward, you're being guided to be open. With the Prince of Swords, there's the energy of being curious. Like, be open to new things. This is very active, energetic energy, wanting to get into something, wanting to learn more, constantly out to explore. Yeah. And being in alignment, in that way too. And so you're being guided to be, open in that way. Always be willing to learn more, open to explore and try new things, or to see it, just simply see it someone else's way, you know? When you put a lot of great minds together, you get greatness, more of the same. So be open. I feel like for you, again, with the synchronicity, that energy coming in, the universe will be guiding specific individuals, specific people your way. People that will align with your way of thought and your way of being. And I even feel like these people will be so aligned, they're going to assist you in aligning with your highest self. Yeah. Aligning with your highest self. And our last card is the Strength card. And the Strength card just brings in the understanding that, yes, there are going to be some challenges, but you can do it, period. It's, having the grace to go through is basically what it is. Courage, great strength, and influence. That fierceness that allows you to embrace challenge. It's strength in the face of uncertainty with integrity, right? Yeah. You have what it takes, basically, moving forward. Understand that. You have, walked with the fiercest of them, and, you've walked in amongst very dangerous spaces, and, you've survived most heinous of tests, and yet here you are, still beautiful, still pure, still ready to fight the good fight, still integrous and tranquil and peaceful. Here you are. And whatever challenges are headed towards you during this movement forward, you've got that too. Understand that. And our last card for this reading is Signs. Understanding that your instincts, rounding up that the need to trust yourself, trust your wisdom. Your instincts are messages from the inner divine, right? From the inner divine. From your inner God, from your inner universe, from your inner creator, from your inner source. Instincts are messages. Again, I've been saying through this whole reading to trust it. Trust your wisdom. They're signs. Okay? And so if you chose reading number 1 with this beautiful leaf here, this reading was for you. This is what is calling your attention right now. To set sail on the great uncharted sea. It awaits. If you enjoy the reading, if you enjoy the content, hopefully you have subscribed. If not, please do. Feel free to like, share. If you would be kind enough to comment, I would very much appreciate it. I love to hear the comments, the replies, how much this has spoken into your life or encouraged you. So feel free. My comments are open for you to do so. I also have a couple of links below. I have a couple of slots left for December. There may be a couple left for November, but there are some left for December. Feel free to schedule a personal session if you would like. I'd love to get to know you better. That would be such an honor. And so I look forward to hearing more responses about sessions that you would like to schedule. Um, Also, if you would love to support the channel, I have a couple of ways that you can donate below as well. And yeah, thank you for stopping by and allowing me to speak into your life. I don't take it lightly. And so this will conclude reading number 1. Thank you for stopping by. Until next time, take care.